Hey, hey, I'm so happy. I'm so happy you made it back. If you didn't make it back and this is your first time, I'm still happy. We're so happy. Listen, Beat the Best Podcast. I'm Betamax84. I'm your guy. Talk about everything sport and, what's going out there in entertainment. Today, guys, we're going to keep it really simple. We're going to talk about Shedeur Sanders and the hate that poor guy engenders. We're going to talk about a changing of the guard in the NBA. And we're going to talk about the F1 party in Vegas. We're going to keep it simple and straight to the point. But first, I got to talk about something that really grinds my gears. Let me tell you what grinds my gears. I'm watching TV and up comes the Moana live action trailer. Like we didn't just finish watching Moana, the second installment of the cartoon. And the first thing that hits my brain is like, I guess Disney's just fresh out of ideas. I guess they can't figure it out. They don't know what to do, so they're just going to live action a movie they already made twice. And then I'm like, well, at least I get to see Ali'i Cravalho because she's awesome and she's the voice of Moana. But no, they replaced Ali'i Cravalho with a little girl, which is fine. That's all right. It makes sense to me. But they replaced her. But they still put The Rock in the movie. That's a big problem for me. It's a big problem for me because I personally believe that Miss Cravalho is Moana, and she absolutely should be in Moana, the movie, because she is Moana. But they wanted to replace her with a younger female star. Fine. But The Rock still gets to play in the movie? He's not too old? What are we actually talking about here? It just really got on my nerves that they would replace her, but not him. If we're talking about age, then both of the actors needed to be replaced. If not, then both of the actors should have been in it. It just bothered me. I'm a girl dad, so I definitely am going to err on the side of what Disney should have been doing and not on what actors wanted to do. I never met The Rock. I'm sure he's a nice enough guy. I know some people who've worked with him. If you recall, I lived in LA for 15 years, so I know a little bit about the industry. And I'm sure his reps were like, you're not going to make Moana live action without me. And I don't think Cravalho has the same reps The Rock does, so that really bothered me. But I digress. Shedeur Sanders, he's a really interesting person because I've been watching him since college. And I think it's a really interesting thing that's happening with him and the media. Because I'm watching him and I'm like, why do they hate him so much? I don't get it. I don't get why they hate him so much. The Browns ended up playing the Raiders this Sunday, which was great for the Browns because the Raiders aren't very good, and to say that nicely, that they're not very good. They're awful. And it felt like everybody in sports media was praying for this young man's downfall. It's so weird to watch how much they dislike this kid. And I can't figure out I can't figure out for the life of me why. Like, what is there to dislike about this kid? He's never been in trouble with the law. I think he got a speeding ticket once in college. He comes from money. He comes from an NFL background in Deion Sanders. It can't be nepotism that people are upset about because we've seen quarterbacks. The Mannings, they have a long lineage of nepotism. I just can't figure out why people dislike him so much. I know what my knee-jerk reaction wants to be. But is this really about his game or is it about his profile? I mean, he's the third string quarterback. He fell precipitously in the draft to where the Browns had to pick him up. I think the NFL insiders were saying they wanted to teach him a lesson, whatever that means. And all this kid has done is come to work every day and work hard. Does it bother you that he had money in college? If that bothers you, then you should have hated Bo Nix. Bo Nix was a millionaire in college, and so was the youngest Manning. He's already a millionaire. He was in college. Is it that you hated Deion Sanders? If so, to hate his offspring is diabolical. But we look at this kid, and all he's done is get drafted and work on being the best possible quarterback he can be. I understand there's some nuance. He's outspoken, he's loud, he's proud of who he is. He doesn't kowtow to anyone. Is it kowtow or kowtow? I don't know. But I will say that he doesn't do either of those things to anyone. But you start to see these sort of patterns with quarterbacks that happen to be black, and you have to start asking some questions as to why. I hope the kid comes out and blows the doors off. He had a great night, got themselves a win against the Raiders. Again, I'm a realist. That's not saying much, getting a win against the Raiders. I feel like if I suited up and played quarterback, I might get a win against the Raiders, which is crazy because I've never even played quarterback. But if you look at the hate that Shedeur receives, it's absolutely insane. And yeah, he has a lot of one-offers, and I could understand he could be a bit annoying, but anybody who's confident can be annoying. Y'all hated Tom Brady. He was annoying, and he didn't get hate like this, like Shedeur receives. So I just think social and people who are on the outside of what it means to be a proud quarterback that is also black, I think you have to look at this kid and go, yo, I hope the best for him. And don't forget about the way Deion loves his son. I love that. I love that. I love the way Deion actually cares about his son. When there's so many fathers who don't care. If I lived anywhere near the Midwest, or my feet ever touched the ground in Cleveland, I would be like, yo, I'd wear a Browns jersey. But I don't think you'll ever see me wear one because I'm a 49er fan till I die. But yeah, get off Shedeur's back, man. This kid's going to be fine. And moving on, guys, moving on to the NBA, my favorite topic. There's a storm coming. There's a storm coming. And that storm is NBA youth, because there is a real changing of the guard that's happening. And I got to tell you guys, it's not pretty. Most of us don't like change. But I have to say that this younger generation, this next generation of NBA ballers is slowly pushing out the last generation of NBA superstars. You know, I'm Steph Curry till I die. I appreciate LeBron James. KD is a top 30, top 40 player. And these young guys don't care. OKC doesn't care. The Blazers don't care. The young Rockets team does not care. Amen Thompson definitely doesn't care. Wemby is a problem unto his own. The Pistons, the Pistons have the second best record in the NBA. The Pistons, and they get no airtime, right? The Blazers are the only team that beat Oklahoma City. They're the only ones that gave them a loss, and I think they've beaten the Warriors twice. It's absurd. And in the NBA Cup game, the Blazers just went nuts. They stuck with the Warriors over the course of the entire game. And I'll keep it a bean. The Warriors looked really tired and old at the end of the fourth quarter. I would love nothing more than Steph Curry and the Warriors to get a fifth chip. Do I think it's going to happen? There's a better chance of me holding my breath and thinking I could fly. Because this youth movement is not playing. Look at these kids. They're all over the place. They're all over the place. Especially the Blazers. The Blazers are not only a deep bench when they're healthy. I mean, right now they're riddled with injuries, but they get up and down the floor. They have length. And Advija is an absolute problem. It's absolutely insane. The Suns are a disaster. The Lakers are on a ticking time clock outside of Luka, of course. But if we're looking at people who want to say, yeah, I'm waiting for LeBron to come back so the Lakers can make a push for a championship, or hey, man, so all Steph needs is a little more time, buddy. You're living in a fantasy land with Dorothy and two-headed monsters. You're living in a place that doesn't exist. OKC is going to win a championship this year. You heard me. I don't even make predictions like that. It's OKC's to lose, okay? No one starts out like this and doesn't go to the NBA Finals. And all of my favorite teams and your favorite teams, the Lakers, the Warriors, they're all just going to be a year older next year. And the young knees are going to keep running up and down the floor. Dame Lillard, yeah, we're all waiting for Dame to come back. I'd love to see Dame play again. This isn't Dame Lillard's team anymore. Are you kidding? I'd rather hand the keys to Advija. He's probably the most underrated player in the entire league. He's that good. So I'm telling you guys, this changing of the guard from old to new is happening right in front of our eyes. And last but not least, we have to start giving F1 their flowers. This sport, which was a global sport for years, has finally docked on American shores, and it has absolutely taken America by storm. How do I know this? Because Beyonce and Jay-Z were in Las Vegas for F1, among countless other stars who showed up there. Everybody wanted to be in the building. It doesn't hurt that it's in Las Vegas, obviously. Who doesn't want to be in Las Vegas when F1's going down, right? But come on, man. This sport has gone from nothing to something in America in nothing short of 4 years. And if you want to be honest, the real reason is Netflix. Nobody talks about that part. Netflix had that show, and after that show came out, everybody wanted to be on that show. Everybody wanted to talk about it. Every single person you knew of was talking about F1 after that Netflix show. And all they did was make a season 2, season 3. I stopped watching after season 2 because I just started watching the races and watching the matches. The strip, the vibes, the redemption from the first year's mess of delays. But I think F1 does have a real problem. And it's a small problem. The biggest problem is that Max Verstappen is absolutely dominating the sport. Now, obviously, he's a winner. Anytime he poles in time trials, I just go, what's the point of watching? Because no one's going to challenge him to win. He's that dominant. The Red Bull team, they have it dialed in. They have the car dialed in. They have the right driver at the right time. I think Verstappen is still in his 20s. Somebody will check me on that. I think he's like 27. He's not even 30. I love Lewis Hamilton. It's over. It's a changing of the guard again. Back to the changing of the guard. But these guys, they can't touch Verstappen. Verstappen's he's like Tom Brady right now. he just can't stop winning. He's that good. I mean, if that's F1's biggest problem, then so be it. They'll just have to find someone to play the bad guy or make him the bad guy and find a good guy. That's all just marketing. But the Red Bull car has it dialed in, and I don't know if anyone else can touch him. McLaren's okay. Ferrari's inconsistent at best. Red Bull, they've got it locked in. And the fact that Vegas is the perfect place for this race, even though, I have friends who live there. They can't stand the setup of this thing because it's right in the middle of town by the strip. If you work anywhere near the strip, you hate this dang thing. It's just in the way all the time. It's horrible. But, as a spectator, it's fantastic. You can spectate your brains out. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch. So you have to give F1 their due. If you don't watch, it's fantastic. I think the race was 50 laps. You can miss the first 10 laps and still be fine. But I don't think Max Verstappen was in any danger of not winning that race. I was texting one of my friends. They're like, oh, I hope Hamilton wins. Good luck. It's Verstappen's. He's going to win the whole thing. Shocker. That's exactly what happened. It's like watching Jordan back in the 90s. I wonder who's going to win the NBA this season. You can just say Jordan and you're going to be fine. You'll be right 6 out of the 10 years that he won because he was that dominant. So that's how dominant Verstappen is right now. Yeah, that's really about it, friends. I just had to get that off my chest about Disney. I really didn't appreciate how they got rid of Moana, the real Moana, for the live action version of the film. I don't even think a live action version of the film should exist. And it definitely shouldn't exist without the two people who made Moana what it is. But that's Hollywood for you. People are going to keep hating Shedeur Sanders, I have a feeling. I feel like if he grows to be the starting QB that I think he can be, I think he's going to even garner more hate for being a starting quarterback. As we turn towards the NBA, you're going to start seeing these younger players are going to start to take control. And these old guys, Steph is 37. I love Steph. He's top 5 and not 4 in my book, right? But he's all of 37, about to be 38. LeBron's in his 40s, okay? He's defined father time for all of his years. It's not going to go on forever. So you better start looking at these younger players for the studs that they are because they can go, okay? The next generation's here. I want to call it the Wemby era, but we're not quite there yet because of his injuries. And F1 is here to stay as well. It's going to be here for a while. F1 in Las Vegas was a fantastic event. We saw the stars show up and show out in Beyonce and Jay-Z. And Verstappen is just going to keep winning until he just doesn't feel like winning anymore. I just want to win. I'm going to keep winning. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. That's what he's all about right now. So, hey, I appreciate you spending some time with me. Like I've said before, if you want to stick around and watch somebody get a podcast off the ground from the feet up, that's here. So it's not always pretty, but there's a lot of love involved. So I appreciate you guys checking me out, and we will see you on the flip side.